30 miles outside of the capital city has stalled, facing fuel and food shortages. As the fighting intensifies, so does the rush to get out. Close to 700,000 have already left Ukraine, and that number expected to grow significantly over the next several days.
And this is a big tragedy for me to leave my city, and actually I don't know am I going to come back or not, and I don't want to leave, but it's completely dangerous to stay here.
Dangerous and dire. Store shelves in many places empty.
No food, no bread, no water, no tabletics, no pharmacy, nothing. And the people of there staying, no money to go out, to run, no money.
The UN warning the situation could quickly become Europe's largest refugee crisis this century. Jay Gray, NBC News, along the Polish-Ukraine border.
And we're taking a look back at President Joe Biden's State of the Union address now. The conflict in Ukraine taking center stage. The president taking on the threat posed by Russian President Vladimir Putin. Take a listen.
Tonight, I'm announcing that we will join our allies in closing off American airspace to all Russian flights, further isolating Russia and adding additional squeeze on their economy.
The president also took a moment to celebrate progress against COVID-19, as well as commend the American people for the shift in the phase of the pandemic. On the economy, the president focusing on strong job and GDP growth, but he acknowledges that challenges American families are facing right now, vowing to ease soaring inflation.
One way to fight inflation is to drive down wages and make Americans poor. I think I have a better idea to fight inflation. Lower your costs, not your wages.
State lawmakers were quick to fire back with regard to inflation. Take a listen to what a senator had to say about it.
He talked about inflation, and he said this was all because of COVID, basically. But what he conveniently left out is this is not the kind of inflation that they have in Australia or in Japan or in South Korea or in Canada or in multiple countries around the world that are.
That was Oklahoma's U.S. Senator James Lankford, one of those voices. In his reaction video posted shortly after that address, he took aim at the president's remarks about inflation and the actual cause of it, he says. The senator maintains the American Rescue Plan Act is a direct cause for that inflation. Senator Lankford also addressing the U.S.'s selling of oil to Russia.
What we really need to do, and what he wouldn't talk about tonight, is actually put pressure on Russia by increasing Oklahoma and America oil and gas production. His whole focus skipped over the fact that the United States is still buying oil from Russia right now. So we need to cut off purchasing from Russia. We need to actually replace Russia's customers around the world so that we can prevent Putin from having the money to be able to murder his neighbors.
And one day after giving that address, President Joe Biden is pushing the need for infrastructure spending. He'll be in Minnesota and Wisconsin, where he's expected to talk about the bipartisan infrastructure law that he says will help fix roadways and other surfaces all across the nation. Some of those funds from that bill are earmarked by both Wisconsin and Minnesota to repair failing bridges. What the city calls the largest investment in affordable housing in Tulsa history is getting closer to completion. The River West Mixed Income Development is a $170 million investment. 2 News Oklahoma reporter Caitlin Rivas was there for a tour this morning and joins us live with more.
Hey, Justin, good afternoon. So this area in West Tulsa was previously known for having subsidized and unsubsidized housing for residents, but that's all changing thanks to Tulsa Housing Authority's completion of Phase 2 of a historic mixed income development. Tulsa was recently chosen to take part in HUD's Choice Neighborhoods Initiative, which included $30 million for the Tulsa Housing Authority to redevelop this community. It's a 6-year, 6-phase plan that includes housing with all the amenities offered, no matter a person's financial status. One resident who has lived in this community for more than a decade says the new River West is a fresh start, not only for her, but for anyone looking to better their life.
It gives us a chance to start all over again compared to how the other ones were a lot older. They'll definitely be a lot nicer and give us a lot more things to work with.
In Phase 2, which they showed off today, they've opened a new community center that includes a gym for the residents. They're also working on a new park, a multi-use court, splash pad, pavilion, and a swimming pool. Now, this entire development is scheduled to be complete in 2024. Live in Tulsa, Caitlin Rivas, 2 News, Oklahoma.
All right, Kate, thank you so much. Some Android phones, I know there's a lot of you out there who have these, so listen up here. You might have an issue trying to call 911. That is if you are not using the latest Android software. A spokesperson for the Oklahoma Department of Emergency Management and Homeland Security says in December, a bug was found in Microsoft Teams app that made cell phones unable to access 911. Those who have the app may experience a busy signal when trying to call. That app was updated in January to fix that problem, but Android users should update that software. Contact their cell phone provider if they have any follow-up questions. And Tulsa Community College is the first and only Oklahoma college to offer a unique online course that trains students interested in the cannabis industry. A 2021 jobs report from Leafly, it ranks Oklahoma 9th in the number of jobs in the industry. Well, TCC has partnered with Green Flower, which specializes in cannabis training and education, to create 3 categories. The dispenser certificate says that is the dispensary associate, cultivation technician, and manufacturing agent. And Tulsa Botanical Garden breaking ground today, starting construction on 2 new gardens, the Baumgartner Lotus Pool and the Stanford Family Liberty Garden. When they're finished, they will add more than an acre of horticulture displays, water features as well. That project will cost just over $6 million. The Lotus Pool is expected to be finished in late 2022. The Stanford Family Garden will be ready to open in mid-2023. One of the biggest factors in a child's academic success might be their mother's ability to read. Coming up, a look at why literacy among adults doesn't get enough attention. You're watching 2 News Oklahoma at noon. Stay with us. Good afternoon and welcome back. We want to get back to some breaking news we first told you about at the beginning of the show. Tulsa Police Department confirming they are involved in a standoff with a man. This is on East 25th Street. It's the details we're getting into our newsroom. Brady Halbleib is there live with more on what we're learning. Brady, what do we know right now?
Hey, good afternoon, Justin. Yeah, we are on East 25th Avenue near the Virginia Lee apartment complex, and there are more than 24 cop cars here, including the Special Operations Unit. I'm going to get out of the way so you can have a better idea of what we're looking at here. Right now, they are trying to talk to a man inside who police say is armed with several swords and knives as well. Police got a call earlier this morning around 9 a.m. of a man trying to break into his neighbor's apartments, and since then they have evacuated the fourplex that the man lives in, and everyone was able to get out safe. Now TBD is trying to communicate with the man inside through a loudspeaker. They say they are doing everything they can right now in order to communicate with the man, to do everything they can to get the man out of the home so nobody is harmed in the situation, that he comes out peacefully. Now, if that doesn't work, they're waiting to see if he will do that. If that doesn't work, they'll have to go in by force and make that arrest. Of course, you can see dozens of cop cars in the distance as well. The Special Operations Unit is standing by just in case anything happens. They're trying to communicate. If you can hear, they are trying to communicate with the man just down the street between these 2 houses that we're looking at right here, trying to get the man out peacefully. Of course, we're going to be here all day watching this situation unfold. We'll keep you updated online and on air as we learn more. Now live in Tulsa, Brady Halbleib, 2 News Oklahoma.